Hey everyone, Mick back, this time with June Vinyl Manifests. And let's get underway with Crow, a legendary 90s Australian band featuring Peter Phantom, Peter Archer, and we do have to say Varley to Peter Archer. This is their first album since the 90s and it's called Hold Sway. Crow maintain their force of nature they always were by expanding on a pretty standard indie rock platform to make it something unusual. We get 10 songs on the album, and the key song is Shine on the Rising Sun. Probably my favourite Australian song of the year so far. And as wanton these days, there we go. We have some orange vinyl. Okay, next up we have Fancy Weapon, which is somewhat of a Australian supergroup, featuring Mick Turner from guitar. He's from the Dirty Three. Claire Birchall, who's been helping out a heap with various Kim Salmon projects. Joel Subersha, him famously of God, Hoss, and Guy Madison, who was involved in a heap of Black Eye aligned bands, but also played bass in Mudhoney. Okay, what we have here is on Poison City Records. They've got together to deliver a, I would call it a post-grunge blues workout. Very Australian, and great to see Joel back in the spotlight. There we go, some blue vinyl. I was wanting these days. Okay, next up, Beast of Bourbon, The Low Road. These guys got my favourite Australian album last year, and they are the quintessential Australian band. It's 2 LPs that comes with this one this time. The original one only had one. Some live stuff on the B-side. I will say, though, the packaging on this reissue is definitely better than the original. However, the sound is the Red Eye logo is definitely better on the German press, so make sure you think about that. Would recommend to get that, though. You get the extra live album, so hard to go past that. Let's move forward to World Cup quarter-finalists, France. And this is the band Slift, and this is their band Fantasia, which I think appropriately has come out on Sub Pop, given their lineage could be traced back to bands like Earth and obviously Sunno are back on their limb for this year. This is more psyched out than a lot of those acts and comes with some beautiful custom inner sleeves. Jean Fosse continues to lead the band, and this is one psyched out, sprawling mess. It's so good. Okay, take note of the artwork here, guys, because that's the key clue here to who this features. Yes, the one and only Ray Pettibon, famous for SST, Sonic Youth artwork, amongst others. Ray here obviously handles the artwork, but also handles the lyrics. Now, the main person who contributes to this album, bar Ray, is Daniel Adams. There's some more Pettibone artwork there for you. There's the man himself. And this, I would say, reminds me a lot of X. A little bit of surf guitar, mainly punk, something otherworldly there as well. Produced by Geezer X. And you do have a lot of guest musicians who you'll be able to see the list of there. if you're trying to be an SST completist or that realm of personnel, certainly worth a listen, and also worth a listen if you like the magic that is X. Certainly that sort of sphere with X breaking up. This might be something else you'd be interested in checking out. Okay, so on the Rock Records, this time we go to a reissue. And this is on the fantastic Black Truffle label. Yes, it comes in that type of rice paper. I'll slowly unveil this here. There we are. And it's the Japanese band White Heaven. And this is a vinyl reissue with extra tracks of their late 90s album, Next to Nothing. This is a very heavy cardboard sleeve. In fact, I would say beyond stout. Yes, it's a cloth orientated sleeve. What you get here is revved up psych. I like to think they basically follow the Stooges template, and everything is pressed wonderfully, and you get extra tracks that you certainly didn't get on the original version. Now, original copies of this album usually go for $600 to $700. So definitely, if you're interested in hearing this and you want to understand the vinyl experience, certainly something to get. One of those cases, they're probably better than the original. And of course, you put that much detail into everything, of course, you're going to get a nice insert. Okay, let's move over to some electronic music now. Here's an interesting one. It's Mouse on Mars. Yes, the German electronic act. And here he is with Lee Scratch Perry. And what you have here is a jam session, basically, that appears to be cut up. But you have Scratch talking through his various philosophical views of the world, and placed with some very, very modern electronica. Nice yellow custom label, and you guessed it, of course, it was going to be yellow vinyl. If you like any of their work, particularly Mouse on Mars, he's done a couple of collaborations over the years. Certainly something to put your mind to. Definitely one of the better electronic albums I've heard this year. And a big shout out to Phil for making the effort to come and pat my back in the record store and say, hey mate, check this one out. Much appreciated, mate. Definitely one of the key electronic albums for this year. However, I don't think anything could be more key than this electronica album. Here we have It's Boards of Canada and Inferno. Certainly an example of what the vinyl experience is about in its super deluxe format. If you're thinking of getting this album, just get the super deluxe format. Pay the extra couple of bucks. Of course, you need to experience this album as a whole. And even though you may think the content relates to dubious religious positions, and there's probably a million and one podcasts where you hear better information, but the analog synths with the occultism nature of the artwork certainly transcends you into a particular place. And just just think when you think you are getting safe with all the artwork, they also included, you guessed it, well, you probably wouldn't have, a hexagonal flexi. How was that? Certainly an addition to that final experience. Certainly not sound-wise though. And you get this fantastic booklet of art, which supports the music. Some people have questioned the validity of the drum machine programming. Not me. This whole thing is brilliant and probably, dare I say, so far one of the albums of the year. Okay, let's just wind up now. And the last one is a jazz release. Now this jazz release came out on CD in 2025, but this is the vinyl version, and it features the infamous sax player from Japan, Akira Sakata, on his album SOS. He covers some Duke Ellington songs, some folk songs, but ultimately it is all Akira Sakata. Just as a side note, to help put you in the right spot to what kind of jazz it is, it's mixed and remastered by Jim O'Rourke. So certainly falling into that category of avant-garde, experimental, but I think it's more modal. This pressing's made in Japan and comes on black vinyl. Okay, thanks everyone for listening. Some real fun pickups there for June. Hope you can find something there for yourself.